Two very different cruisers, one shared mission: get you comfortable and looking good on two wheels. The Vulcan 900 leans on old-school V-twin charm at a low price, while the Rebel 1100 brings modern electronics and serious muscle. To see how that difference plays out, here's how they stack up across 9 key areas. The Vulcan 900 is built around a 903cc liquid-cooled, fuel-injected 55-degree V-twin with SOHC and 4 valves per cylinder. A platform that's been around for 2 decades and has been refined rather than reinvented. It's mechanically simple, and that simplicity is a big part of its appeal. Fewer things to go wrong, easier and cheaper to service, and a soundtrack that still says cruiser in the classic sense. The Rebel 1100 takes the opposite approach. Its 1084cc liquid-cooled parallel twin borrows its bones from Honda's Africa Twin adventure bike, using a Unicam SOHC head and a 270-degree crank that mimics the uneven firing pulses of a V-twin, while keeping the compact packaging and smoother high RPM manners of a parallel twin. It's a more modern piece of engineering, and it shows in how the bike revs and behaves. This is where the gap becomes obvious. The Vulcan 900 makes roughly 51 horsepower at 5,500 RPM and about 58 pound-feet of torque at 3,500 RPM. Enough for relaxed boulevard cruising and confident highway merging, but not much more. The Rebel 1100 nearly doubles that output, producing around 88 horsepower at 7,250 RPM and roughly 72 pound-feet of torque at 4,750 RPM. Honda's engine also revs noticeably higher and pulls noticeably harder throughout the range, which matters if you plan to ride 2-up, tour with luggage, or just want the option of quick overtakes without downshifting twice. For riders who prioritize straight-line performance, the Rebel 1100 isn't close. It's simply a faster, torquier machine. Kawasaki keeps things traditional with a 5-speed gearbox paired to a Kevlar-reinforced belt final drive. Belt drive means quieter operation, less maintenance, and no chain loop to worry about. A nice touch for a bike aimed at low-fuss ownership. Honda offers more choice here. The standard Rebel 1100 uses a 6-speed manual transmission with a chain final drive, but buyers can also opt for Honda's dual-clutch transmission, or DCT, a 6-speed automatic that can be operated fully automatic or shifted manually via paddle-style triggers. The DCT eliminates the clutch lever entirely, which is a genuine advantage for new riders, commuters in stop-and-go traffic, or anyone who simply prefers not to work a clutch. The trade-off is a chain drive instead of a belt, which means more regular maintenance than the Vulcan. The Vulcan 900 relies on a conventional Showa fork up front and a preload adjustable rear shock. Functional, proven hardware that prioritizes comfort and low-speed stability over sporting precision. It's tuned for cruising, not carving, and it does that job well. The Rebel 1100 uses beefier 43mm fork tubes for more precise steering and a plusher ride, along with nitrogen-filled remote reservoir rear shocks running custom spring rates. Combined with Honda's more compact engine packaging, which places heavy components like the crankshaft close to the bike's center of gravity, the Rebel 1100 feels noticeably more agile and confidence-inspiring when the road gets twisty, without giving up much comfort on the highway. Despite its smaller engine, the Vulcan 900 isn't a featherweight. The classic trim comes in at roughly 619 pounds wet, with the custom trim slightly lighter due to its strip-back styling. That heft, combined with a low seat, actually helps low-speed stability and gives the bike a planted, substantial feel at stoplights and in parking lots. The Rebel 1100 is lighter, with a curb weight of about 497 pounds for the manual version. The DCT model adds a few pounds for its automatic hardware. Combined with Honda's mass centralization efforts, the Rebel feels smaller and easier to muscle around than its spec sheet or bold cruiser looks might suggest. Kawasaki designed the Vulcan 900 lineup around accessibility, with a low seat height across all 3 trims, 26.8 inches for Classic and Classic LT, and 27 inches for Custom, making flat footing at stops easy for shorter riders. The Classic and Classic LT add floorboards and a heel-toe shifter for laid-back, feet-forward cruising, while the Custom swaps in wide drag bars and forward-mounted foot pegs for a more aggressive, low-slung stance. The Rebel 1100 sits a bit taller at 27.9 inches, with a slim seat-to-tank junction that Honda specifically engineered to make mounting, dismounting, and flat-footing easier despite the added height. The riding position is more neutral, foot pegs rather than floorboards, and a grip angle Honda describes as blending relaxed cruiser comfort with sportier engagement. It's less of a lean-back cruiser posture and more of an upright, do-anything stance. The Vulcan 900 keeps electronics to a minimum, reflecting both its price point and its retro character. There's no traction control, no selectable ride modes, and no large color display. Just straightforward analog-leaning instrumentation and dual throttle valve technology for smooth throttle response. For riders who want an unfiltered mechanical riding experience, that's a feature, not a shortcoming. The Rebel 1100 is dramatically more equipped. It includes Honda Selectable Torque Control, a form of traction wheelie control with multiple levels, 4 selectable ride modes, Standard, Rain, Sport, and a customizable user setting, a 5-inch TFT color display, Honda RoadSync smartphone connectivity for navigation and calls, a USB-C charging port, and standard cruise control. This is a genuinely modern electronics package that few bikes in the mid-size to large cruiser class can match, and it gives riders real flexibility to tailor the bike's behavior to conditions or mood. Kawasaki spreads the Vulcan 900 across 3 distinct personalities. The Classic offers a traditional cruiser silhouette with fendered wheels and a 180mm rear tire. The Classic LT adds a passenger backrest, leather saddlebags, and a height-adjustable windscreen for light touring. And the Custom goes full drag bike with a 21-inch front wheel, blacked-out engine, and slammed aggressive lines. It's a lineup built for riders who know exactly which cruiser aesthetic they want. Honda's Rebel 1100 leans into a modern, minimalist blacked-out look as its baseline. Engine covers, frame, fork, and even the final drive chain are finished in matte black for a cohesive, contemporary style. Beyond the standard and DCT models, Honda also offers an SE trim with a custom seat and headlight cowl, and a Rebel 1100T variant that adds a batwing fairing and 35 liters of hard saddlebags for genuine light touring capability. It's a more unified design language across the lineup, versus the Vulcan's 3-way split in identity. The Vulcan 900 wins decisively on price. The Classic starts at $9,599, the Custom at $9,999, and the Classic LT at $10,599, plus destination charges, undercutting the Rebel across the board. For budget-conscious riders or those buying a first big bike cruiser, that gap is significant. The Rebel 1100 starts a little higher at $9,699 for the base manual model, climbing to $10,399 for the DCT version and $11,199 for the DCT SE, with the fully loaded 1100T bagger costing even more. Given the substantial jump in power, electronics, and chassis sophistication, though, the Rebel arguably delivers more performance and technology per dollar. It simply asks for a larger initial outlay to get there. These two bikes aren't really fighting over the same rider. The Kawasaki Vulcan 900 is the choice for someone who wants an approachable, low-cost, mechanically simple cruiser with classic looks and a forgiving, low-slung ride. Ideal for new riders, budget-focused buyers, or anyone who just wants to cruise without fuss or electronics to fiddle with. The Honda Rebel 1100 is the pick for riders who want genuine performance, modern rider aids, and the flexibility of an optional automatic transmission, wrapped in a lighter, more agile chassis at a real but justified price premium. Based on comfort, value, performance, technology, handling, accessibility, and ease of ownership, if low cost and simplicity top your list, go Vulcan. If you want more power, more tech, and a bike that can genuinely keep up on a twisty road, the Rebel 1100 is the better all-around machine.